So I figure if you've already kind of been thinking about what you want to chat about, we can go through those questions. I also have some on the website. So I think I'll just like pull those up. But you are a special case. So it's not just like, tell me about your job.
I've got multiple jobs.
Actually, that's true. Actually, you still do.
Yeah.
She does it all. Um, let's see. Excellent. Okay. I need my own systems. Oh, good. I'm consistent. Found them. Oh my. I wonder what you're drinking there. Could that be? Tell me
Why,
more.
yes, it is.
Amazing. So that's Ruby
It's
Max coffee?
delicious. It is. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
The
so excited.
leftovers from all my bagging, I bagged 89 bags of coffee
Oh
to
my God.
send out to my Kickstarter
You
pledgers.
did all
Yeah.
89? That's
Yeah.
like hours of,
Yeah. And like sealing them and stamping them. I actually had my friend stamp them though. Thank
oh,
God.
wonderful.
Yeah. She was like, anything I can do to help, let me know. And I was like, are you anal retentive like me? And she's like, yes.
Perfect. It's like, I need this level of precision
Exactly.
for each stamp. Do you know where I got this stamp? Do you know the journey I took?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, everything has been a definite
So,
journey.
yeah, and I kind of just want to dive into this part. But I
Yeah.
think it might also be helpful to ask kind of more a broad question, like what kind of jobs have you had, or if you just want to start with some of the ones you're like currently doing, that could give us some context into,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I grew up doing theater. Um, it was kind of my safe space. Um, School was really hard for me as a kid. I was always very distracted and daydreamy and kind of like um, the textbook girl ADHD um, type of person. And I always compared myself to others because I was like, why are they understanding the assignment and I'm not? And I was always so hard on myself.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
so
so
yeah, theater was like that escape for me to just be creative and be who I wanted to be and sing and dance and yeah. Um, so I grew up doing theater. So I went to college for theater. Um, and I, after college, I didn't really want to do the performance thing per se. I really did not enjoy the competition that came along with it.
mhm.
Um, and so I kind of veered into the costuming world.
Mhm.
And yeah, I ended up being the assistant costumer for Pittsburgh Ballet, and then the costumer for Aspen Santa Fe Ballet this past year, and like designing shows and
Amazing.
yeah, making everything on a really low budget because
Yeah.
I couldn't say no. um, which, I'm glad I did do those things, but at this point in my career, I'm like, no, you're going to pay me for what I'm worth. Thanks to you.
Happy to see that.
I've realized, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and uh, to get to my coffee trailer, I to kind of supplement my income for all those artistic endeavors because
Hmm.
the art, as we all know, the arts don't pay. Um, I was always a barista because it was in the morning, or there was one coffee shop that I worked at that I went to after the Pittsburgh Ballet, and it was from I think it was from 5 o'clock or 5:30 shift to 11. So I was able to work like a double during those
Oh,
days.
wow.
it was a late night coffee shop, which was really nice. Served amazing cakes and stuff. Shout out to
Oh, that sounds
Butterwood.
fun.
Yeah. Um,
Wow, you've been
and
so involved in
then,
the community, I can tell from all of this. Like just with like coffee shops and performances,
yeah,
the connections you've been, building and contributing to. It sounds really
yeah,
lovely.
I'm definitely a people person. Like, I can be kind of shy, but when there's like a table between me and the customer, like I feel like I don't know, I can offer something different.
Oh,
So,
I
um,
can relate to that. And hopefully this like Zoom call has the right level of
oh yeah, definitely.
table for you. You even have your own table, right? We each have our own separate tables that
Exactly.
we get. So
Separate
it's like
tables.
really
Yeah.
our spaces and flow.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, you mentioned the coffee shops and kind of how that's been
yeah, yeah.
valuable in yeah, supporting the creative expressions.
Definitely.
Now it has
Yeah,
become a creative expression.
yeah, and making coffee is creative in itself. And if you really want to get into like the nitty-gritty, like measuring and latte art and um, flavors and yeah,
It's
just
true.
a little bit of everything.
Well, as you're mentioning that, I'm like, I want to learn more about the coffee and kind of what you've been learning then with Ruby Max. I have a very, we'll say, rudimentary understanding of coffee shops and that they're lovely spaces where I often get a black coffee, sometimes a matcha,
Nice, nice.
but I don't really know all of the magic that happens behind the scenes. And given our conversations, I have a sense you're pretty deep into that magic right now.
Very much so.
And I don't know if it all feels like magic either.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
hard work, actually.
It
I
is
now
a lot
see
of
how
hard
this is
work.
all happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I guess I can kind of start where I had the idea of opening up my little coffee trailer. Um, so during the pandemic, I came back home to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and quit my job at the ballet because everything was closed. Like theater was not happening.
Mhm.
And it kind of gave me an excuse to come back home and just be with my family. Um, and in Wisconsin, I have a lot of extended family in Wisconsin, and I would go there in the summers and work. And um, my cousins brought up the idea of opening up a coffee shop, and they asked me if I wanted to help them out with it. Because I knew a lot of the coffee side. They knew that I did a lot of barista experience and stuff like that. So they hired me on as basically the head like barista person, and um, I worked that summer. I think it was 2021, summer of 2021, and it was awesome. It was a really awesome learning experience. And kind of learning how to inventory and do all kind of like the more business side of it, that I never really knew how to do.
Mhm.
Um, and um, when I came home for the winter, it's just a seasonal little coffee shop. I was sitting down at my computer and I was like, what would it be like if I opened my own thing? Um, and there was a little coffee trailer, kind of like the one that I had imagined
Oh.
at a farmer's market in Wisconsin that I saw. And I was like, wait, this is like exactly my vision. And seeing it means I can actually do it.
Oh, I'm getting chills.
So,
I didn't know
yeah,
about that moment. I think
yeah,
you like thought of it and then whoa.
yeah, it was really, yeah, really amazing to kind of get that validation of like, oh shit, this can actually work. Um, And oh, I don't know if I can swear. Whoops. My grandma and grandpa on my mom's side, um, I never got to meet them as they both passed before I was born.
Hmm.
Um, and I've always loved the stories that my family has told about them. And um, for actually a long time, I've wanted to open my own business with the name Ruby Max, but I never knew like what kind of business. Like
Hmm.
I thought, like being a costumer or being like I thought about opening my own clothing line of some
Uh-huh.
sort, um, Ruby Max, and finally it came to me that it was like maybe this could be the coffee shop name, Ruby Max Coffee. And so I kind of rolled with that and had
Yeah.
my cousin design the logo and um, went through the whole process of logo designing. And um, yeah, it was fun to have him be a part of the experience as, family.
Hmm.
Um, just
Yeah,
having
because
that
that's where it came
connection.
from. That's beautiful.
Shout out to Harvest Inc.
Yay. That's
um, so yeah, that's kind of how it started,
hmm.
and then just kind of dove right in.
Yeah. I guess what had you done before we met at that point? Like that was 2020 or so
Mm-hmm.
was kind of some of the seeds and then seeing the trailer. And then you had the trailer, right? And you were or if you just want to dive in, like, I don't know what's kind of happened since last summer. What have we been
Yeah,
working
I
on?
think really
And then the
the
Kickstarter, of course, and like, oh
yeah,
my
oh my
God.
gosh, yeah. Well, the reason why I wanted to look for an ADHD coach in the first place, with specifically for this venture, was because um, first of all, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about how ADHD affects your finances. Um,
Hmm.
and I was relating so much to what they were
Hmm.
talking about. And I was like, what if I had ADHD? And so I kind of dove right in. And this was all during the process of me opening my business.
Yeah, yeah.
And um, so I think it was simultaneously like I found you, an
Hmm.
ADHD coach, and
Hmm.
then I went to my doctor and just kind of talked about what I was feeling,
Yeah.
and just kind of, I don't know, felt like it was the right path for me to go because it was
Hmm.
making more sense. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, that's why I do this. Oh, this is why.
Yeah.
Um, and I had been working on the coffee trailer for probably, I want to say many months.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
It's time. It's now. Here's what we're remembering.
yeah. And there were a lot of things that I was either procrastinating on or just getting like too focused in my head about. And I wasn't really going anywhere with it. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm doing all of this,
Hmm.
but it's not really leading anywhere.
Hmm.
Um, and I was like, oh, that sounds like ADHD.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, with your help, I would not be where I am today, honestly. It's
Mm.
very, yeah, just all of the stuff that you've helped me with. Like, for example, we'll be talking about, oh, I got to call this person or email this person, and I'll do that after we do this conversation. And you're like, no, how about we do it right now? Let's email them right now. I'm like, that makes sense because I will not email them after
I'm
this
like, I
conversation.
know myself. I'm like, if I
Yeah,
don't want to do it now, I don't want
yeah.
to add that to my list. Yeah.
um,
That's amazing.
so yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
I'm wondering, what are some of the things you're excited about now that have happened? I mean, you like have the trailer, you've been like building it out, you've hosted events, you've
Hmm.
raised thousands of dollars, you've sold coffees, you've really you have yeah, you've got your like social media community too. I love the like just like this style and the vibe. Like you're really
Yeah.
out there sharing the spark, sharing the coffee, the community, connecting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was actually, that was one of the first things you helped me with was the social media.
Hmm.
Because I had the social media, I just didn't make it public yet. And I was like, I was nervous because I
Naturally.
didn't want people to judge me or I don't know, think I was stupid because I don't know, all
I
of
can
those
relate to a lot of
insecurities
this.
that, yeah,
I was just sharing photos of like my walks, and it's kind of cute to look back and it's like, wow, I didn't even have words. It was just like out with the flowers, and then you start saying
yeah,
stuff, then maybe you like make a video and yeah. And like the design has really just loved like the style too of the pieces that you've been creating. And the whole process of like choosing the coffees and tasting them
yeah,
and getting the stamp. Were we just talking about like
yeah.
stamping too? It's like a
Every single
lot.
detail has been a process. Every single detail. Um, yeah, and it's been fun. Um, yeah, and I think I honestly think if I would have just dove in without having the background of all of the research I had done,
Yeah,
all of the um, everything that I did before either I met you or before I got to this point,
yeah.
um, I would I don't know, it would not be as I guess strong as where I am today.
Yeah, I see the solid foundation. And I also like see your spreadsheets and I'm like, this girl is like on another level and you've got connections in the like local business community and the coffee community. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
she's got her inventory. She's like ordering like high-end equipment and making sure we've got like solar and
yeah,
contacting welders. I'm like, look at her go.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Building out the whole thing. I'm like, I'm happy to be in my purple little office, but like, it kind of came pretty functional. Like, sure, I assembled like
Yeah.
some of the furniture, but it's just kind of a click. You've been so hands-on in the
Yeah, it's one thing to think it all up and kind of have this vision of everything, but to
hmm
actually sit down and, bag the coffees
yeah.
and order the little sealer thing that actually seals the coffee and all of that hands-on
I
stuff is
love seeing the pictures that you've had. I'm like, this is like what's going on behind the scenes. And as you're building out things for like for sale and in your shop, I'm like, okay, I've sold like a few books, but like I didn't bag 89 custom copies.
um yeah, I signed myself up for a lot of things and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing
It's
it.
happening.
One
So,
thing, yeah, exactly. With the Kickstarter is, um, I guess the biggest accomplishment that I've done thus far.
mhm,
Um, I had thought about doing like a crowdfunding thing
mhm,
before, and I thought about doing Indiegogo and other kind of food truck related
mhm,
crowdfunding. Um, and I looked on Kickstarter and saw the success of a lot of things, but not necessarily for coffee trailers.
mhm,
I did look up coffee trailers, and a lot of them were not fully funded. And so Kickstarter is that it's all or nothing. So
mhm,
basically, you set your goal, and if you don't meet that goal, you don't get any money. And I knew that I had a lot of um, a lot of sources uh, or a lot of circles that I could
a
reach
lot of
out
people
to.
cheering for you.
Exactly, yeah. Um, and yeah, so I knew that. And it did take me a while to start the Kickstarter. Um, I would not recommend starting it like a week before you want to launch.
Also
Like
made an incredible video. You had so many like decisions, like the rewards. I remember going through like choosing all of that and then
that
actually
was such a
producing
process.
it and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like realize what you're signing yourself up for because it literally is another job.
Oh my God. It was like every day you're just having
Yeah. Yeah.
these like customer conversations in a way.
hmm Yeah. For the whole month of January, um, I posted on social media every single morning. I reached out to people individually. Um, and yeah, I wanted it to be successful.
Yeah.
And I knew um, that I could do it, but I had to put in the legwork to actually make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Hard.
Yeah.
A lot.
So I reached my goal. I by and then I over exceeded my goal
Yeah.
with like a week to go.
It's amazing.
And it's such a I mean, it was such a like a crazy experience to have.
Yeah. I
Because
was
you're
so
like,
excited seeing it happen. It's like,
yeah, like people like strangers even like this guy from Germany gave me money. Um, Friends from that I haven't spoken to literally since kindergarten
yeah.
gave.
Oh, that's
I
so
was just like the kindness of people was just really overwhelming, and I
yeah.
was like, how do I deal with this kindness?
Oh, I'm so delighted.
Yeah,
And I
so
wanted,
I am glad that I'm taking this time to um, make all of the tote
mhm.
bags and bag all of the copies because people put their hard-earned money into helping me with my dream, and
Mhm.
it's not like I want to appreciate that and show
Yeah.
it. um
Yeah.
so
Absolutely. Oh man, I want to just keep going. But I guess given the time, maybe I'll just ask if there's
yeah.
like one or two things the next few months that you're especially looking forward to, or that would be helpful for the community to know about what's coming up. I mean, I'm hoping to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things. Fly
So
out.
was it last week? I
Hmm.
don't know, my weeks kind of blend together. It was last week. The welder came and started welding things, and that's like a big thing because we had gutted it, and it's a 1962 Shasta Air Flight trailer. So I got that here in New Mexico, and I wanted to keep the original everything, and um, per code, a
Yeah,
lot of it has to be changed.
right.
So anyway, we had to gut it, and it has all the wood had to be replaced because it was all rotted, and so we're rebuilding it with a steel frame, which will be a
I
lot
don't think I
more.
realized the level of
Yeah,
gutting and rebuild was happening, not just like installation of like equipment and getting it up to code. What, but up to code
yeah,
is
yeah.
legit.
Um, so yeah, construction is starting, and it's really exciting. And I already signed up for a festival.
Yay! All right, so there is one. Is this a summer one
So
that you're signed up for?
yeah, it's the
Okay.
beginning of June.
Okay.
Um, and my goal is to have the trailer done by the end of April, beginning of May, so that I
Mhm.
can have a soft opening, kind of practice
Yeah.
everything, the layout, and get that all
Wonderful.
figured out. But
And if people want to support you leading up to that, where should they go or what should they do? How can they find
um, so
you?
you can find me on the social medias
Yeah.
at Ruby Max, RUBYMAC apostrophe S. Well, I guess it's not apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Ruby Max Coffee
Yeah,
on
when it's spelled out.
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can find you on Instagram and see what's going on. Maybe make
Hmm.
some more donations, buy some coffees, see your events.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Joanna. I'm so
So,
glad that we got to chat about this morning.
yeah, thank
Um,
you.